century ago. Yeah.
I believe that I am stranded on an alien planet.
Played, of course, by actor Jonathan Digby. Went on to some minor roles after this. Such a shame. I thought from day one this guy's got leading man written all over his face.
Greetings, citizens of Gravoria. I am Dick Starspeed, and I come in peace.
Probably shouldn't have had Dick draw his weapon when he was talking about peace. Well, maybe one day we'll go back and CG it into a sandwich or something instead. Ha! Just kidding. This is what people pay to see. A no-name middle-aged B-list actor duking it out with stuntmen in costumes. Such stunning choreography. Now, the extras in those robot suits really knew how to take a punch. Oh, literally. I told Jonathan not to hold back. Give it all to him. Kick him in the nuts and bolts.
Holy smokes! If I land squarely on that grain silo, I should survive this fall unscathed.
I shouldn't say this now, but you could actually see the strings if you squinted hard enough. Oh, a screenwriting trick from back in the old days. You put a grain silo or some haystacks down and it solves all your gravity-related problems.
It appears some of my equipment was lost when my ship was shot down. But what luck! This high-tech scanner reports that my ray gun is nearby.
Dinosaurs. You just don't see quality stop motion like this anymore, do you? Someone actually sat there and moved them, frame by frame. Today, it'd be done with computers, but where's the artistry in that? Trees here look a little plastic. Well, it's because they are. I took them from the set of my last film, Vampire Island 2. We got our fair share of nasty letters from scientists complaining about our portrayal of the dinosaurs. Was news to me. Apparently these stegosauruses weren't meat eaters. Must have preferred shellfish or something. Wow, how do they know? That's what I say. Fearless sea monster, always patrolling the shore, eagerly awaiting for his next meal. As usual, the local population is defenseless. That's where our hero steps in and saves the day. Jonathan threw a lot shooting this film. He wasn't the best actor, especially when reacting to getting hit. He's what you call a flincher. So I told the stuntman to really just go to town on him. It's the only way to get an honest performance sometimes. Our props master tried to make the weapons soft, but there's only so much you can do. Lucky for us, Dick's entire body was covered in that spacesuit. That thing was a lifesaver when it came to hiding bruises. You'll notice the gold disappears when Dick touches it. We had a deleted scene that explained he's actually teleporting it back to his ship. It's funny, no one ever questioned how Dick was able to walk around with an infinite amount of gold on him. We had to redo these shots. Our first attempt was kind of a disaster. We tried using real apes, thought it'd cut down on the costume budget a bit. But have you ever tried working with apes? They are the worst actors ever. They don't sit still for a moment, and the second you take your eyes off of them, they're flinging their feces all over the place. Jonathan refused to work with them after he got, well, let's just say that he had to take more than a couple of showers one day. You know, you never forget the smell of monkey poo. We steam cleaned the studio top to bottom. Still never got rid of it entirely. All through the rest of the shot, we kept finding those little surprises hiding inside various props. Boy, were those the days. Some really top-notch stop-motion effects, huh? Unfortunately, we skimped on the Dick Starspeed puppet a little.
The Earthman is not for you to eat, fiend!
Oh, this was groundbreaking. We had the woman rescuing the man for once. We were really ahead of our time with this scene, but then again, I've always been rather progressive. The studio exec didn't seem to get why it was such a big deal, though. Sorry, we don't see this as anything unusual. Ha! Of course! It's unusual. A woman would never save the man. It just doesn't happen. Not in the movies, not in real life. I don't know why we didn't get more recognition for this scene. I guess I was just a little too ahead of my time.
Thank you for saving me, strange woman. What is your name?
I am the magnificent Scarlet Nova. Do not question my motives. Just be happy that you are still alive. I must speak with my father at once. I shall teleport to his chambers.
So we'll be seeing our first example of teleportation being used by Scarlet right here. As soon as this current shot ends...
Huh? Where is this place? This is not my father's chambers.
You have disobeyed me for the final time, Scarlet. Enjoy an eternity in the Tower of Eternal Solitude for all eternity.
Ha! The old fool did not notice I am wearing my jetpack.
Booster usage. Jump. Wait. Wait. Use booster. Survive deadly fall.
Scarlet didn't quite realize she needed to shoot those energy orbs down below. Keep in mind, Stacy was doing this on a soundstage, okay? The energy imps. Such a neat effect. We had to paint each movement frame by frame and superimpose it into live footage. We were pulling all-nighters for weeks. Well, when I said we, I meant the artists. I'm pretty much useless if I don't get a solid 10 hours a night. But they were at it forever. They had to redo it all because I accidentally told them red instead of blue the first time. Artists.
Curses! My father revoked my access to the teleport terminals. I shall only be able to utilize the ones I activate manually.
Some of these shots are dragging on longer than I remembered.
Ah, I knew you would return.
Puny Earthman, you shall help me overthrow the Emperor.
Why would you turn against your own father? How do I know I can trust you?
This scene. This is practically Shakespeare in outer space.
Just as the entire planet does.
And, huh? Patrick, what's wrong with the video?
Sorry, sir. Technical problems.
Darn it, we're missing some really good writing here.
There. Sorry about that.
Well, we just passed right by her big scene. Basically, they agree to work together, but one must stay behind in the sleep chamber at all times.
Should I rewind?
Never mind, I'll continue from here. Right from the start, our budget was a little tight, even by standards back then. To make do, Tony shot a couple scenes in black and white. Originally, he intended to use it for flashbacks, but then I had to break it to him. Our film doesn't have flashbacks. We almost made it a silent film just to cut costs. I felt it was an absolute necessity we have a T-Rex in this film, but we got this Serato thing instead. Of course, I went through the whole production thinking it was a T-Rex because, really, who can tell the difference anyway?
It would appear that now is the time for us to climb the deadly Tower of Monsters.
Good Screenwriting 101. Always announce the title within the film itself. How else are you going to let the audience know your heroes really mean business? Oh, spoiler alert, our heroes may or may not find a particular tool that will allow them to destroy those rock barriers later on in the film. Now, that weapon, it's just an electric shaver, but you know, I bet you'd never guess it was, would you? They look so futuristic. I could have made use of that one at some of our meetings with the studio. Oh, you'd like to see records of where our budget went to this month? Sure, let me get that for you right now. Boom, boom. Yeah. Unfortunately, those meetings ended in a much different way. I know a taxidermist who helped us out with these bat creatures for real cheap. He's not good. So, he's kind of sloppy if you want to know the truth. But that's the best part. A sloppy bat looks scarier. Oh, but you gotta sew up that sphincter. Just trust me on that one. The squids. Some board member had these nephews who really wanted to be in the film. They made me cast them as squids. Whatever happened to artistic integrity? If you're going to cast a role not on merit, at least let it be a hot female role. My effects team kept assuring me the strings wouldn't be visible in the final cut, but I could see them. No transparent nylon. This stuff will do the trick. Yeah, right. I swear those darn strings is what made my hair go white. I designed this creature to reflect the human condition. Always hungry, never satisfied. The bottomless pit of the beast's stomach. I don't know, you say stuff like that in interviews and your film always wins awards.
Teleport usage. Jump. While in the air, use teleport. Quick quickly return to upper floor.
You don't want to miss a single minute of this scene. The nuclear ants. Hey, we need to remind the audience our heroes are climbing a tower, so I needed something that would stick to walls. Originally, we had these web-footed what-have-yous. Not very scary. And then I left some cake out in my trailer, and it was crawling with ants in the morning. And that's when it hit me. What is the most obnoxious thing in the world?
to my co-pilot. He was the most loyal companion in the galaxy.
Dick. Malfunction. Dick. Malfunction.
These Gravorians will pay dearly for this, my friend.
Now, what's a space adventure film without a trusty robot sidekick, huh? Am I right? In the original draft, we had Dick and Scarlet team up with an alien from the planet's surface. You know the type, pointy ears, wise and emotionless. But then we came to our senses and realized that a giant tin can robot's way cooler. Besides, everybody was doing the alien thing back then. You know me, I'd rather be a trailblazer. Part about being in showbiz. Craft services. It's like never-ending supply of free food all day long. I never had to pay for a single meal. Hey Patrick, I noticed you guys don't do that here in your studio. You should talk to your boss. Maybe even just a bagel station. some real action. Nothing like an adrenaline boost to get our hero to really start wailing on those monsters. We were unsure how to represent a surge of adrenaline at first, but I think we nailed it. Yep, definitely nailed it. That nitpicking science community also complained about these Terra whatevers breathing fire, like there's fossil evidence of dinosaurs not ever shooting fireballs. It's not like I gave them neck frills or had them spit poison or anything ridiculous like that. As luck would have it, the next lot to ours was filming some horror movie set in Transylvania. So we signed a soft contract with them to use their set after they wrapped for the day. And by that, I mean we kind of snuck in and filmed it real quick when no one was looking. Had my assistant Phyllis keep a lookout for the security guard. We shot this scene with Scarlet using the landmines, but then I came to my senses and we reshot with Dick. I mean, a woman using high explosives? This may be a science fiction, but we have to keep things at least somewhat believable. Hey, most days, the effects team really nailed it. Dinosaurs, saucers, hey, you name it. But these, deflating rock boulder cubes, not their best work. Just looks kind of odd, if you ask me, like giant whoopee cushions. And they said they could add some debris and explosions or two afterwards. And then we ran out of budget. Well, to be fair, we ran out of budget several times, but still, I lost a lot of sleep over these rocks. First tried this one with regular logs. Well, that was disastrous. I'll tell you, never mess with physics. It was kind of, well, to be frank, it started out nice, but then, well, it was a death trap. Just plain and simple, it was a death trap. Poor kid holding the boom almost broke his leg. Guess he played basketball in college or something, because he leaped right at the last second. Whew, crisis averted. My props guy wanted to swap them with some spongy material for safety, but I had a better idea. Let's set the logs on fire, then... Say, you know what I was thinking? With all this jumping and climbing and jumping, wouldn't this make a great video game? Isn't that what all those video games are about? Jumping around?
Well, yeah, and killing. There's jumping too, but mostly the killing.
What? Patrick, that's awful. What sort of example are we setting for our youth?
Well, movies are pretty violent too. Your heroes have killed everything in sight. You had Dick shooting a dinosaur in the face in the first 5 minutes.
Well, Patrick, that's different, you know? What we did on film, that was art. Video games aren't art. Funny story about the two caged apes in this scene. I had completely forgotten about them when we wrapped up filming on the set. Then we spent the next day doing a location shoot. So suffice it to say, our return to the studio was met with a couple of grumbling tummies complaining about unsafe work conditions, human rights, yada, yada, yada. Hey, Patrick, I was thinking we should take a little break and get a bite to eat. You like Chinese? I know a great takeout.
Well, we're not scheduled for a break for another few hours.
Nonsense. Hey, you have to try the shrimp. It's the absolute best. But, oh, hey, I feel like I should warn you. It gives me horrible gas. But that's okay. We're friends, right?
Really, sir. Studio time costs a fortune. Let's just stay on schedule.
Good thinking. We could grab a real dinner together and go out for a night on the town, yeah. Two young bachelors on the prowl. Say, where do you youngsters go these days? In Hollywood, or even made the budget back for that matter, but hey, in the end, I think it was still worth making just for those die-hard fans that really love it. I attended a lot of sci-fi and movie cons, and to this day, I still see fans showing up dressed as aliens and apes and dinosaurs. Does a man proud. Now, granted, their costumes aren't exactly 100% faithful to the film, and it seems that no one ever remembers them by the right name. But still, knowing that we still have fans like this promoting the film decades later, It puts a tear in this old director's eye. I get all emotional. Okay. Insistence on lens flare. I tell you, some days it felt like he was trying to be the director. Honestly, you could see dust on the lens, so just go and wipe it off myself. He would get so upset about it too. Like my fingers aren't clean enough to wipe the lens. Don't touch the lens. Whatever. I was trying to push a new style of filmmaking. Have the hero do absolutely nothing from time to time.
Danger. Human speed is not enough to pass through that fan. Chance of death 100%. Retrieve the time vortex device if you wish to go any further. Searching. Time vortex device detected. Device in dangerous area. Nuclear amps everywhere.
So, do we get any backstory on Dick? Why'd he travel to Gravoria in the first place? Did he do any research before landing there? Did he have a specific mission in that region of space?
Patrick, if you keep getting bogged down by the details, how will you ever learn to just sit back and appreciate the work of art for what it is? Production tip, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how sunny it is, don't store your papier-mâché props outdoors. They will get rained on. It's the law in this town, like Occam's razor or Stockholm Syndrome, or I forget what it's called.
What in the cosmos? It's my co-pilot's body! I believe that I can repair him. Oh no! I am trapped!
Master Dick. Master Dick. Good. Functions restored. Good. Threat detected. Must eliminate.
Fun fact, we actually had an actor inside the robot suit moving him around. I bet you thought it was an actual robot, huh? That's how good he was. No rest breaks or anything. Hardest working actor I've ever met. What a trooper. It was a shame we couldn't afford to pay him. And of course, since he wasn't on the payroll, I couldn't officially add him to the credits. But still, what a trooper. Wish I had a dozen actors like him.
Dangerous radiation detected.
No, we didn't use the same material for the toxic waste as we did the slimes. I mean, why fake something when you have the real deal available? We found a place where people were just dumping the stuff away for free. I was hoping the crew members handling it might get some cool superpowers from it, but no, nothing like that.
strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger.
Oh, Robot, you're all right! And you saved the day.
You're Fred eliminated.
Looks like the Emperor's days are numbered. At long last, we have assembled our team.
A lot of reviewers and fans, too, always wondered why we shot so few scenes with all three heroes in it together. I mean, we did our best to explain it. Something about the sleep chambers. Rickety old things, the higher up they went, the more they sounded like they were gonna fall apart. I'm amazed that no one ever got hurt, or worse, riding these things. Well, there was the actor we originally cast for Dick's role, but we don't talk about him. really start to get a sense of how high up our heroes have been climbing here. Reminds me of how the crew always used to comment on how high everyone was. Those jokers, they'd even say it when we were filming the grounded scenes. And they all giggled like school children whenever they mentioned it too. So I'd make sure to laugh even harder so they'd know I was in on the joke. Whatever it was.
Fight this beast here. I must make for higher ground.
Sets back then. Props, walls, you name it. Then, you moved bits and pieces around and created whole new scenes. We were efficient. I adopted that technique to my wardrobe too. If you mixed and matched sufficiently, you could get by for years on only a handful of shirts and underwear. to these free-falling shots. Something so invigorating and freeing about them. Like sticking your head out of the sunroof while driving on the freeway. Modern science fiction directors sometimes put the lens flare in on purpose. Why on earth? What's the next trend? Dead fly on the lens? Jeez. Watch. You won't believe me, but you just watch. It'll happen. Some big shot will do it for one scene, and the following year, everyone will be doing it.